Jango Fett, a character that's lived in infamy since first appearing in George Lucas's 2002 film Star Wars Episode II: Attack of the Clones. Quick spoiler warning, this video contains spoilers for the Mandalorian Disney Plus series, the comic series Star Wars Jango Fett Open Seasons, and the 2002 video game Star Wars Bounty Hunter. For years, fans have speculated the legitimacy of Jango's Mandalorian heritage. Jango Fett was not a Mandalorian by birth, but he was a foundling, just like Din Djarin, therefore officially making him a Mandalorian. In the Disney continuity, not much is known of the character, but like most things in Star Wars lore, we can turn to the old expanded universe to see who the man was, where he came from, and how he became the specimen that would create the Grand Army of the Republic. Let us take a look into legends.
Jango Fett was from the Mandalorian world Concord Dawn. Trained by the Mandalorian warrior Jaster Muriel, Jango took part in the conflict known as the Mandalorian Civil War. In Season 2, Episode 6 of the Mandalorian series, Boba Fett confirms his father took part in the Mandalorian Civil War, although the Disney canon hasn't given any specifics as to what that war was or who exactly fought in it. It's very likely that the Disney canon will pull from the Legends documentation of this war, which is defined as the 16-year fight between Jaster Muriel's super commandos known as the True Mandalorians and Tor Vizsla's Death Watch. This war is covered in detail in the comic series Star Wars Jango Fett Open Seasons, which served as a supplemental material for the 2002 video game Star Wars Bounty Hunter, a prequel tale explaining how Jango became the specimen for the clone army. Decades ago, the mercenary group known as the Mandalorians fractured, giving rise to the chaotic splinter group. They called themselves the Death Watch and followed a barbarian called Vizsla who believed that the Mandalorians should conquer the galaxy. Vizsla orchestrated a bloody coup against the true Mandalorians still loyal to a reformed murderer named Jaster Muriel, who held that the Mandalorians were merely highly paid soldiers. On Concord Dawn, Jaster's alleged homeworld, the Death Watch scattered the Mandalorians, and a hunt began.
You can't escape me, Jaster. I'll burn all your hiding places to the ground and execute anyone who helps you. And when you have nowhere left to run, I'll have your head.
Check your weapons and catch your breath. We're moving out as soon as it gets dark.
No, we just have to find Vizsla. He'll need to resupply.
I can take you to the closest town. They sell food and power cells. He'll be there.
You know how to use a blaster, boy?
Yes, my dad. He taught me to shoot.
Then he was a good man. The boy comes with us.
During the Mandalorian Civil War, the Death Watch killed Jango's family, and Jango managed to escape and meet up with Jaster Muriel and his men after the attack. Jango then became a surrogate son to Jaster, going on to fight alongside Muriel in the later battles of the war. When Jaster was slain, Jango became his heir and took on the moniker of Mandalore, the sole leader of the Mandalorians. The Battle of Galadran was the setting for the war's finale, which saw the true Mandalorians decimated, Tor Vizsla and Death Watch triumphant, and Jango left alone.
After a time in captivity as a slave, Jango freed himself and hunted down the Death Watch leader, Tor Vizsla. The two Mandalorians faced off on Corellia after Jango disabled Tor's ship and crashed it into the planet. The two fought a gruesome duel, which saw Jango truly unchained and defeat the Death Watch leader.
You think this cut is going to kill me?
No, but they will. No.
After Jango being stuck with a poisoned tip and Vizsla being slashed in the gut by Jango's blade, Vizsla was ultimately killed by dire cats. Jango was spared by the cats due to Vizsla's poison. Jango survived the brutal encounter, and his vengeance was finally realized after surviving years of war against Vizsla, the murder of his family, the destruction of the true Mandalorians, and the death of his mentor, Jaster. At this time, Jango left his life as a Mandalorian behind and became a bounty hunter, eventually meeting the Dark Lord Tyrannus, also known as Count Dooku. In the 2002 game Star Wars Bounty Hunter, we learn how Jango was tested by the Sith Lord Tyrannus to destroy the Dark Apprentice Kamari Vosa, and in doing so, prove that he was the perfect template for Palpatine's clone army. The following is an excerpt from the Open Seasons comic when Jango makes the deal with Dooku.
An unaltered clone. No growth acceleration. No behavior modification. No tampering.
I didn't think you were the sentimental type, Jango. You want a son.
No, an apprentice. He will become Jasta's legacy.
Very well. You've passed every test I've placed before you, and I have no doubt that your clones will be the most formidable soldiers the galaxy has ever known. In time, they will be instrumental in the destruction of the Jedi.
That's what I'm counting on. Lead the way to Camino, Tyrannus, and make sure I get paid.
As we saw in Episode 2, Jango was killed on Geonosis by Mace Windu, and the unaltered clone of Jango, whom he called his son Boba, took on the armor of his fallen father, and followed in Jango's footsteps to become the most notorious bounty hunter of his generation. As always, thank you for watching, and thank you to Thor Skywalker for taking part in this video. Check out his awesome channel if you haven't. For more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and join me as we explore epic stories far and wide. Take care, my friends. This has been your fellow Jedi, the Memory Troll. May the Force be with you.